Welcome back to CreelTalk, where we unpack the power of resilience, redemption, and rebuilding with purpose. If you've been journeying with us through our Rebound Code series, you already know we're not just talking about what knocks us down, we're talking about what lifts us back up and how we rise with intention. In our last episode, the redemption shift, we explored the art of coming back, not with noise, not with over explanation, but with clarity. We talked about rewriting the internal script shame tried to alter and how redemption isn't a one time event. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm with grace, growth, and grit. We named the lies and also reclaimed the truth. And I also reminded ourselves that redemption is a code we get to live by, not just cracked ones. And now we build on that foundation. Because once you've reclaimed your story, the next question is, how do others see it? What does your rebound say about your reputation? That's where reputation equity comes in. Today, we're talking about the value of your name, your narrative, and your presence in the spaces you lead. Whether you're rebuilding a brand, a relationship, or your own self worth, your reputation isn't just what people say about you, it's what your rebound reveals. It's the equity you earn through consistency, humility, and truth. What if I told you your reputation isn't weakened by your mistakes? It's strengthened by how you own them. That the most powerful legacy isn't built on perfection, but on integrity. Today, we're unpacking reputation equity, the kind that doesn't come from image, it comes from truth, from transparency, from courage that says, I missed it, but I'm still here. So let's get into it. Let's talk about legacy, perception, and the kind of equity that can be bought, but must be earned, protected, and stewarded. This is reputation equity, and it's time to invest wisely. Reputation equity isn't just about what you accomplish, it's about how you lead when the outcome doesn't match the ambition. It's the trust your leadership accumulates in the moment that don't go as planned. Not when the launch is flawless, not when the numbers hit, but when the vision was clear, the effort was real, and the result fell short. It's easy to lead when everything is working, but reputation equity is forged in the tension and the gaps between expectation and reality, and how you choose to show up in that gap. That's what people remember. I'll never forget a moment inside Vision Inspired when we had a bold goal, tight deadline, messaging that felt like fire. The whole team was locked in. The vision was loud. The commitment was deep. But when the dust settled, we missed it. Now, here's the part that mattered most. We didn't pretend. We didn't pivot without pause. We didn't let silence write the story. We gathered the team. We named the miss. And we said, we didn't hit the mark, but we're not shrinking from it. Let's unpack what happened and reset with intention. That moment built more trust than any polished win ever could. Because reputation equity isn't earned in perfection, it's earned in presence, in honesty, in the courage to lead through the uncomfortable. When leaders choose truth over tension, accountability over avoidance, and clarity over cover up, they don't just protect their reputation, they multiply it. because reputation equity isn't a brand asset, it's a legacy, it's a legacy investment. And every time you lead with integrity in the face of imperfection, you're depositing trust into the future. Credibility isn't built by winning, it's built by showing up, especially when the win didn't happen yet. It's built by maintaining a positive mental attitude when the pressure mounts and following through even when the path gets messy and harder. Because anyone can lead when the outcome is smooth. But real credibility is forged in the fire. When the deadlines slip, when the team is discouraged, when the vision feels so distant, when you get so many no's in one day and then have to think about having to pick up tomorrow despite all the no's you got today, that's when your posture matters most. Not just what you say, but how you carry your weight. Do you panic or pivot? Do you disappear or dig in? Here's why transparency and tenacity work together. Transparency signals confidence in your character, not just your result. It says, I'm not afraid to name what didn't work because I'm committing to what will. A positive mental attitude creates emotional safety. It tells your team or yourself, we're not stuck. I am not stuck. We are shifting. That optimism isn't naive, it's strategic. Follow through builds trust in your consistency. When you keep showing up, even when it's hard, people stop watching your outcome and start trusting your presence. I'll never forget when a team member told me, you missing that deadline made me trust you more. At first, I didn't get it. But when they said, you didn't hide it, you didn't spin, you just showed up honestly and kept going. That moment taught me something deep. Reputation equity isn't built in perfection, it's built in perseverance and the choice to lead with truth, to move with hope, and to follow through when it will be easy to fold. That's the kind of leadership that lasts. That's the kind that builds legacy. Here's why transparency works. It signals confidence in your character, not just your result. It gives others permission to own their imperfections. It turns moments of failure into momentum for the future. Let's talk about the difference between strategic vulnerability versus emotional overshare. Let's start with strategic vulnerability. And this is what it actually looks like. It's not about hiding the hard stuff, it's about how you share it. So it served the vision, not just to vent. When sharing publicly, keep the lesson clear. What did you learn? What's the takeaway for others? Keep the comeback front facing. What's the next move? What's being done? Keep the tone anchored in growth. Are you modeling resilience or spiraling in real time? Here's an example. Our numbers were down this month, but our momentum isn't broken. We're analyzing, adjusting, and staying rooted in the vision. This isn't a spin, it's stewardship. It says we're aware, we're accountable, and we're advancing. So let's look on the other hand then what an emotional overshare would look like. It often comes from a real place, but without structure to it. It blurs boundaries between personal processing and public leadership. It confuses your audience about what's happening and what's next. It actually also can sometimes shift focus from the mission to it now being messy. This is what an emotional overshare sound like. I'm just so overwhelmed. Nothing is working. I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. That may be honest, but it's not helpful in a leadership concept. It leaves your mentor or whoever is listening to you holding your emotions instead of following your direction. So let's look at the leadership transparency. Transparency isn't a spiral, it's a strategy. It's the art of naming the truth without losing the thread. Strategic vulnerability says, here is what happened, here's what we're learning, and here's how we're moving forward from it. It builds credibility, it helps rebuild connection and momentum, even in the middle of a storm. If you want to be a reputable leader that is well respected by the team, you have to learn how to build and how to lead through mistakes loudly and gracefully. And be just as honest about your progression. In leadership, hiding your losses doesn't protect your brand, it actually shrinks it. It tells people you're afraid of being human, but leading through them, that tells them your mission matters more than your ego. Mistakes aren't the enemy of leadership, silence is. So ask yourself this: have I built a brand that can handle imperfection? If your immediate answer is yes, then share it. If no, then build it. A brand that can handle honesty isn't built for legacy. It's built for performance, and performance always fades. Progress is worth sharing, even if it's not perfect yet. Entrepreneurs listening into this, I wanted to give you something of value in this episode. You don't owe the world a flawless debut, you owe it truthful momentum. When you're building something new, the loudest critics are often the quietest creator. I'll explain that further. The people you will find in your journey of being an entrepreneur that are your worst critics, that are kind of playing the role of crabs in a bucket, trying to keep you stagnated because currently in their life they're stagnated. They are people who, personally, when you dig in, they lack ambition. It's like your ambition is going to expose them. So don't let the judgment mute your journey. Be honest about your wins. Be honest about your pivots. Be honest about the fact that you're still figuring it out. Don't be afraid of that. That's not weakness. That's wisdom in motion. You're moving, you're progressing towards those dreams and goals. Your reputation isn't fragile, it's fortified every time you tell the truth out loud. I remember many years ago, my husband and I started a new business, and we heard around that. A lot of people were not making money from it. Knowing the go getters that we are, when we started this venture, we looked at ourselves and knew we were going to succeed at it. It wasn't easy. At the beginning of it, we faced a lot of quiet critics, people who told us we couldn't do it. Had we sat there and listened to them, we'll be exactly where those people are currently alive. And let me tell you this, majority of those people do not currently live a life that we admire. So thank God we didn't listen to them. Your reputation isn't fragile, it's fortified every time you tell the truth out loud. Every time you say, I missed the mark, but I'm still here. Every time you choose transparency over perfection. People don't remember the slip, they remember the recovery. They remember the resilience. They remember the leader who didn't flinch when the spotlight hit the flaw. Grace isn't just for others, it's for you. Leading loudly doesn't mean oversharing, it means owning, it means modeling what it looks like to fall forward. So when you miss the mark, don't retreat, reframe, recommit, resume. And when you make progress, celebrate it out loud because every step forward, no matter how small, is a signal you're still building, you're still becoming, and you're not afraid to be seen in motion. Ah, that was so good. I hope you're getting a lot from this series, as I know we're winding down. Next week will be our last episode. But before leaving you guys today, I wanted to leave you with a challenge. Here's my challenge to you this week, my friend. Post something publicly about a time you missed a goal but recovered. Let people see your leadership doesn't crumble in the fall, it recalibrates. Next time on the Rebound Code, we are touching on another topic, the accountability ecosystem. How to build safe spaces for follow through that allow both wins and wobbles. So until then, lead with truth, build with transparency, earn reputation equity that legacy can stand on. If today's episode has touched you and you found value in what I've shared here today, make sure you leave a comment and let me know how you're following through. Let me know some of the things that have stood out throughout this series already. And if this has been helpful, make sure you share it with a friend that can also find value in that. And with that, I'll see you next time.